Hello everyone and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Today with something very special because I finally got the chance to cast a game of the man, the myth, the legend, ATKPWR Gaming. So I've waited for this for quite a while, but in League he usually recorded his own games and uploaded them. He wanted to do the same for FOB Arena, but then unfortunately, and this is actually sad that I actually get to do this now, then, of course, he quit making content, at least for the time being. So I guess he's not going to upload them at any point, and I figured I can finally cast them. Now, the reason why I'm doing this today is that today, actually, it's 1 year ago since I uploaded my first video, as YouTube told me, well, at some point early this week. And so today for you when you're watching, not for when I'm recording this. And yeah, so I'm not the big person for birthdays or anything like that, but you know, I figured this is quite the achievement, or at least I feel it's not something I really expected to go for that long when I decided to upload the first video. So I wanted to do something special, and I guess this is going to be it. We're gonna cast a game with the person who actually inspired me to do that, to start that whole thing, which is of course ATKPWR. Who else? And yeah, I think we're just gonna get in, take a look at the decks, and then go back to the game. What I can already tell you though is that we have some interesting builds, and of course, we're not going to see that this is not the last video for either of those players. Both Hypokrass and ATKPWR Gaming have played some more really interesting games, and we are going to go look into them in the future, as well as, you know, the regular like the new games that are coming from FOB Arena slowly starting to reduce, since we have reached the playoffs, and in some divisions even the finals. Starting with first US on balanced, actually. Now, we do see the recons have 8 and nothing else, which is a very odd choice in my opinion, because yeah, recon only comes from B phase onwards, but recon is such an important element of this game. You don't want to go without it, so this is a very odd choice there, in my opinion. Now, the infantry type is also very weird, because it's very B and C phase centric, but there's not a lot of the good units that you actually get in A phase. And remember, you actually get them good availability. So, and this is especially interesting since, you know, in A phase, I think Hypokrass actually has the advantage in CQC, and he doesn't go for it, right? He misses the Assault Breacher and the Assault Buster. Both of them are good units, and they are also fast units, which matters a lot in that matchup, of course. So, where he can actually take advantage of the slow speed of 715th. So it just brings the Assault Fire Support Stonewallers and the Assault team, which is good. So this is CQC, which still wins probably against the Pioneers. That's 715th gets. And the leader. And then in B and C phase, we see infantry, we see engineers and rifles early and rifles respectively in each phase, all at single vets. Remember, this division gets 3 veterancy on its infantry and a few other units, but he doesn't really take advantage of that by double vetting. He just takes advantage of it by getting more, I guess. That's not necessarily wrong. We do see leaders in A and B phase though, which is really cool. Tank tab. And he also takes a commander, as we're going to see, so he hopefully actually makes good use of that. Tank tap, Stewart's in A phase, as well as the Shermans. He doesn't really go super Sherman heavy in A phase, but he takes a ton of them in C phase. With double vet though, which in my opinion is the way to go anyway. But we have to remember there's a limited amount of Stücks in ATKPWR's deck anyway. I haven't looked at it yet, but there's not that many cards available, so the rest is going to be Tigers. I'm not sure how many of those you're actually going to need. Support tap though, he brings the 50 cards, also only coming in B, the 105 and the M7DD, which I love to see. So he brings all the nice 2K that he can get, which even on Orsha North is useful at the end of the day. A T-tab, nothing special there, of course. The M5 gun and the M10s only come in B phase. He brings bazooka only in B phase as well, which you don't have to do anymore, right? You can take them in A phase. Now, truthfully, I think he should, because in A phase is where the light armor is for 715th, so I'm very surprised by him taking them in B phase, because this is, especially this matchup, not where you want them. You usually want to have these kind of units available as early as possible. AA tab, no AA in A phase. That's risky. Now, ATKPWR is not the player who usually starts massively air spamming, especially not early on, but still, you do want to have AA early on, otherwise you might be screwed. He brings them with the M16 as well, which is cool, but makes AA super expensive I'm not really sure if it's worth it. So really, there's a lot there. 81 water half trick in A phase, of course. Off map in A phase, interesting choice because it's very expensive on a balancing income. You don't, even if it's a mirror income, you don't have to feel pressure so early on. It's a quite the investment at 170 points, especially since it's a one call in because it's a massive one. We also have an artillery leader in C phase, so I guess Hypokrass is gonna go all in with his leaders. He's gonna have tons of leadership everywhere, and then long times in B and C phase. Ammo, by the way, only comes in C phase for the support, so the mortar is going to be relatively useless for most of the time, which in my opinion is a bad call. Air tap, the A20G with the rockets, then in B phase, the bomber variants, also in B phase, comes in recon, but no fighters. Moving on to 715th Infantry. This is a very typical attack car build. Also some weird choices here that I still can't really get over. So in the recon we do have the Fusilier, which is not something that you would usually take, especially since attack well lost a 15-point recon. So I'm a bit surprised about this being here, to be honest. Other than that, the usual 20mm recon car. This is really cool, of course, especially since it's fast and you can use it as AA as well. Then the Panzer F is also not surprising. And then, of course, the Decima Exploratory, great CQC unit in B and C phase. I mean, you get a big, or not super big, but a decently sized, let's say, Beretta squad with Commando and a TNT. So not really anything to complain about here. In the tab, some nice choices here as well. We do see the Grenadier 15W, which is not something we see very often. But nowadays, with the 15-point buff, I think it's actually, like, for 15 points, you really can't complain. 1734. Yes, this is hard, but, I mean, this is quite a good amount of firepower for 15 points only, so it's hard to pass on, and it helps you nicely in A phase, where, you know, you have some issues with this division, of course. Then we have, you know, the usual Pioneer 15W, which is now only 20 points, like most other Pioneers, Luftwaffe Jäger, and the Panzergren with more men, but an MG34 only, and he brings the one with the Panzerwerks, which is really bad. This thing kind of sucks. But yeah, so CQC, of course, here is the weakness of this division in general, and also this build in A phase, since there's really only the Pioneers, and the Luftwaffe Jäger are hybrid, but not that good. And in B phase, of course, we get access to the Italian stuff with the Decima and the Decima DT in C phase, which truthfully are not that much better than the Decima, really. It also kind of depends on what you're looking for, but they have better availability, so that's why. And then he brings Panzergrens in B phase and C phase as well each. So a lot of infantry there. Tank tab, pretty classic, no big surprises there. Tigers going long A and throughout A, B, and C phase, and then some Stücks in A phase, and the Panzer P40 in A phase, and some Stücks in B phase. So by the end of, so towards, you know, middle of C phase, probably Stücks start running low, I would imagine. Support tab, yeah, the usual IG-33, IG-18 Sturmpanzer ammo, MG-34 15W, which is only 20 points, really nice. He brings the Commander as well, which I think is very typical for attack power, so no big surprise there. He uses the artillery leader in the RT tab instead of bringing more infantry leaders. Yeah, take that as you will. AT tab, also nothing special there, no big surprise, although actually no, the Elephant is surprising. On this map specifically, I just don't think that the Elephant is really needed or worth it at all, for that matter. There's just not that many areas where you can put this, and it's really impenetrable. Like, yes, it can be super annoying, it can be hard to deal with. It can definitely zone out an area, but is it worth 245 points? I really don't think so, but I guess attack power does think it does, so there's that. Other than that, AA, the usual. There's not that many other options than those. Artillery tab, attack power, that's what he typically does with the 220 in A phase. I think he's known for that. Lorraine in B phase, of course, fantastic artillery piece. One of the best in the game, actually. Air tab, quite light in A phase, so no big fighter, so that's good for Hypokrass, which, as we've seen, hasn't actually brought any A in A phase. And then the EO-217 in B phase, so a moderate amount of air, considering for what this division could bring to the table if attack power wanted to. So now let's take a look at the deployments, and we have to start with setting the Hypokrass actually on the good side of the map, which of course matters a lot. And this is especially dangerous because Hypokrass is really good with his openers. Like, they are very scary, and that means that, you know, if I was attack power, I would be very worried about that, because that opener can go really badly wrong for you. if Hypokrass catches you on the wrong foot. So, and it's not really a surprise that we see a massive deployment here, because of course that means he tries to pressure this, which is 3 flags that he can realistically get early on, and that can really make a difference. So let's take a look there. We definitely do see some rush in M8s pushing in by the looks of it. They're all going over there. Something is trying to rush in there as well. I don't really know. It's an assault team. There we go. Even an AT gun in here. Interesting choice. And then we do see some more infantry going in a defensive position over here, which of course you don't want to lose that flank. This is really annoying. Once you've lost it, it's very hard to get back into. And then you usually lose this, and of course if you counted on holding the town, once your opponent can push from here and from here, it's relatively tough to hold that too, so you don't really want to lose that. That's what it comes down to. Now attack power goes actually, well, it's still defensive overall, but a little bit aggressive there with his 20 mil recon car. P40 moving in as well, and then a lot of Grenadier 15W, which and Pioneer 15W, which are gonna overwhelm whatever, or not gonna, but they have a good potential to do that at least. Machine gun there as well, and of course the leaders so that not these units are not terrible. Also Panzer gun, of course, so quite powerful over there. As for this area, 20 mil recon car pushing in here as well, trying probably to stop potential pushes. Do see an AT gun coming in here as well, also very classic. MG over here, pretty classic too. And then just some infantry pushing in or moving to both places. It's trying to get in here, which is not very uncommon. Like, this is something that you frequently see blue side doing. This is probably the most grabbable flag right at the start for blue side. There's not that many of those, let me tell you. Hypokrass himself pushes, of course, heavily in here as well, with a lot of his old teams, Stonewallers. Yeah, that's basically it. And then a mate. And has some AT guns for the open as well. Something sending in here. Don't exactly know what that is. But it is, for example, you know, where the small transports, faster transport from the assault breacher and assault buster would be very useful to get in there early on. So it's quite surprising that he didn't take those. Over here, going defensive, but he makes a mistake, which I don't think ATKPWR can punish, actually, since this is very important, by the way. His division is, of course, slower overall. He has some decently fast transport, but overall, this has faster transport, which can definitely make a huge difference here, especially on Orsha North, which is very... On most maps, it's important to be faster, but this is one where it's very punishing, of course. We do see the assault fire support going in here, but yeah, anyway, if you go this route, you can sometimes get sniped as you try to slow here turn, whereas if you zip through here, it's harder to do that if blue decides to push free, which admittedly doesn't happen very often. Now ATKPWR actually puts an IG-33 here on the hill, which early on can be quite useful. I can outrange a lot of things. Great support, allows you maybe to push in here or here. Now of course, if you have 50 cals in range here, that would not be good, but that's not going to be the case because of the phase locking, so he can be quite safe here. Machine gun there as well, and recon, of course, which we don't see on Hypokrass side because it doesn't have any. And then a defensive deployment over here, and something here, probably machine gun. No, yeah, actually, yes. Machine gun up here, quite close range, but, you know, it's only 20 points, so why not? And then, yeah, P40 there as well. Hypokrass, just a steward, Stonewall assault team, and the leader. Now, important here, the leader does have a bazooka, so he has some bazookas in A-phase, just not a whole lot of it. And with that, I think we're gonna go and start this. I know this took a while. Sorry, I always try to cut it short, but or keep it short, but it never really works. I know, but you know, this is why you have the timestamp so you can stick it ahead. I'm very excited actually to see how this goes, because ATKPWR is the expert of defense. We have to say that. At some point, maybe I might actually cast the 2 games that I played against him, and definitely could feel that there as well. But again, Hypokrass is also the master of the opener, so that can really go either way. It's so hard to predict where it's going to go. Also, note that Hypokrass actually moves these, not attacks move these, so they will probably get close enough to use the 50 cal against that. Well, one of them at least, the other one, maybe not. Oh, he's actually redirected one to support over here. So maybe that was not planned of that both went over there. Yeah, this thing will probably get... Actually, might be able to overwhelm this. This needs to... This is one of the issues that... There we go, down it goes. This thing needs 2 hits on this thing for it to kill it. The problem is that the 20 mil might just be faster at, you know, killing the M8. So the MA goes down. Soul Team doesn't get in from there, and one gun gets a kill there though. 14-10 for Hypokrass as he gets 2 flags here. Really nothing surprising at all. M8 has shifted, got the kill on the... Oh no, actually the leader got the kill on the 20mm recon car. I was about to say, something doesn't really... Something is odd here in terms of hits and kills, so, but that makes a lot more sense now. Of course, this is the downside of all this hand unit immediately running as the M8 charges in. P40 now moving in, though, that should kill the M8. Leader here needs to be careful if he gets spotted out at range. That's all the AT gone in this area of the map, which would be huge for attack power, especially since it's calling in a Panzer II-F. He's also reinforcing this part over here, where the push through the town here proved much more successful than the head-on approach throughout this road. There we go, M8 did die. And Stonewallers and Assault Fire Support do not hold up super well against this combo here by the looks of it. Makes sense, I mean the Stonewallers at the end of the day, it's 1 BAR and 7 Garands, which is not bad, but if you're not in Garand range, then it's not that good. And the Assault Fire Support, of course, this is not bad, but this doesn't help at all. And to make things worse, really, it's only 6 man. It doesn't have commando. You know, at the end of the day, this is not a what are they called? The annoying little units in 2nd US. The one type of ranger unit. So attack power looks like it's gonna take this flank. Trading that for the center here, which is trying to reinforce, which is not really gonna work out. This is one of those cases where if you get overwhelmed, it's sometimes just better to call something in here to make sure your opponent can't just push through and not bother with any additional pushes. M8 tries to go for sneaky maneuvers over here. Pack 38 spots it, gets a pen on it, but that's about it. And one gun could potentially kill the IG-18 in a transport here if it hits. Oh no, it killed that thing over there. IG-18 though doesn't spot the M8. It's gonna spot the M1 gun though. Panzer II is coming in. This M8 is position where it can't really do much attack power. Hasn't noticed it though by the looks of it. So this thing is gonna just see past it as well as the Panzer II. 820G goes head on against the Focke-Wulf, which is not a good idea. So we have to remember that this thing has, we can't see it now, but it has a ton of 50 cals actually in the nose. So this can do a lot of damage. Now the Focke-Wulf A6 is not a bad unit, but it has bad resilience, so against a monster like this is not good. But of course it is way more, yeah, there we go. It is way more maneuverable than the A20 at the end of the day, so this is how that goes. And now AA means that Hypokrass can't just bring in AA to punish attack power for this. And that also means that, you know, this fighter can do a lot of damage in A phase, so Hypokrass might potentially lose both his A20Gs. And actually A20 didn't kill the IG-33, which is even worse. Which is now going after the Soul Team, so that's quite an expensive unit to lose to the IG-33. Not really something you want to happen. Focke-Wulf is just circling, and there's just nothing that can stop it, unless Hypokrass decides to buy another A20 and head on it, which honestly might not be the worst call. Now you have to do it smart. Like these kind of plays, you wanna do it when a little bit after you got the income, because that means your opponent can't buy one right away, since it usually doesn't have the points there. Unless, of course, we know attack power, right? Unless, of course, attack power... Oh, the M8 with the 50 cal just killed it. Wow. Unless, as I was going to say, unless attack power is floating points again, which is... It would be a classic attack power, not going to lie. Sherman here did go down to the P40 Pack 38 combo. P40 is a nice position here. I'm not sure... some people... don't really think of that very often, and I'm one of those, that, you know, on this hill, and the same is true for the other hill, you can very often actually see over here. So if you can secure this hill somewhat at least, there's actually this is a very good position to support the town if you've lost it, right? You can put like an IG-33 up here, even just an IG-18 if this is the area you're fighting over, and I can do a lot of work there. M8 actually unloading a Luftwaffenjäger here in the back lines. Penier just zipping through. No, attack power has now noticed, so he now needs to bring something that can deal with this. More units arriving for reinforcement. He has to be careful. The Panzer F is very close here, so he's just very lucky that Hypokrass doesn't really have a ton of bazookas, because there could definitely be some in there. Also, the leader positioning, of course, matters a lot there. P40 now moving in, and another one being shifted to go after their mate. This is where, if you were actually microing this, you would want to move it, right? So you can't just, if you do plays like this, you can't just let it sit there. Now, of course you can. It's not wrong, actually. It's just, if you want to get the maximum value out of it, you must shift it. But you can absolutely decide not to do that. P40 goes after the Assault Leader, which has moved forward and killed the Panzer II F, so I think a lot of attack bars pushing potential here has gone. Although Hypokrass doesn't actually have anything up here. This is where, you know, one of the Priest-DDs would actually be very good to do some direct fire support. Since, you know, there's no assault guns or anything like. Or P40 finds the Steward, gets a kill over there. M8 versus P40, yeah, up close, I would be worried. Oh, did it actually just get a pen? No, it just bounced. There we go, M8 goes down. As I was going to say, up close, you actually need to be careful, because this thing can get penned by the M8 up close, but this doesn't seem to be an issue over here. Stonewallers versus Pioneer 15W. With the M1 Garand, I can actually do enough damage quickly enough, as this thing is on the move. Yep, there we go, it's not going to get to throw the TNT. P40 though will probably spot that. No, it's still busy with the leader over there by the looks of it. Stonewalls actually slowly get pushed off. It is why I'm personally not a huge fan of the Stonewalls. And again, this is why I'm a huge fan of putting a support unit over here. Because then this should not really be possible. It looks like attack power is actually going to take back the hill. Now up north we do see some plays by Hypokrass actually. He's pushed forward with the Sherman. Sherman versus P40. Sherman should definitely have the advantage here. It should be bouncing the P40 at least a bit. Even though both got penned once by the looks of it. And now they trade. Well, it's actually a good kill for attack power then. Because, you know, the P40 is about, what, 45 points? 40 points? And the Sherman is, yeah, it's 70, I think. Or is it 75? 65 actually now. Oh, wow, okay. It's not that horrible. Still not great. I mean, these have one Browning less, so that is why they're a little bit cheaper. I still only have the 90mm of armor. But, yeah, the assault team actually pushed through here, got a flag. Stewart pushing in as well. There's a Panzer II and a Marder coming in, so the Stewart can't really do all that much over here. Got an 15W and MG34. Yeah, still much stronger than the Stonewallers, but two assault teams coming in, they can definitely do a lot of work there. In the meantime, this flag almost grabbed by Hypokrass. Assault fire support is trying to move in over here. They can also close that gap. Sherman is helping there as well. Just a bunch of disarmed here, but there's not that much here in the center, actually. Hypokrass is very weak over here. So I think it looks like attack power is definitely trading a little bit better, but I would argue. Then again, the tanks are a little bit cheaper on Hypokrass' side, and no, there's not that much more. And attack power, yeah, no, attack power has some 15 points. Oh, but there we go, 220mm is coming in. Assault team trying to force off the 15W, but it's going to win that. It can't win against all of those. There we go. Yeah, I think Hypokrass really just gave this away for free, basically, by not having any support of it. Like, this is really... I can't stress this enough. Whenever you go for this, you either go so lightly that you take it, but can't really hold it if a big counter push is coming, because then it's really just a grab for free, basically. Or alternatively, you push into this with any size that is necessary to actually grab it and hold it for a bit. It's never... Considering its location and how, you know, exposed the ways to get there are, this is not something that you usually do to keep it throughout all of the game. This is not going to happen. But at least you can make it really costly for your opponent to get it back by having some support tools over here that means your opponent has to do quite large investments to deal with that. And on top of that, you know, it's going to take him quite some time. So he has to decide whether this is really worth it in the long run. To go for that, and you really want to force that out, but this isn't. If you push in with a decently sized force, but then don't have any support tools, this is what's going to happen, right? It's back to 12-12 already, with this flag being held by Hypokrass because he's lost that one, right? And this one too. He's only regrabbed one, because look at that, attack power is actually regaining control here up north. Looks like something smoked here. What was that? These do not have smoke. Oh, they do have smoke. Never mind. So this was probably those. Or are they going to get double teamed by the Pioneer 15W, which is horrible. And actually another one is coming in, so that's good. An assault team pushing over here. Ooh, big bombing strike by the DR-217, as we have reached B phase, which I haven't noticed. It's very typical to have something in here, but I think Attack Power's machine gun here actually killed the unit that was supposed to get in there, so there's nothing in there. But it's a good assumption. It's actually very understandable. Now, he didn't actually need that plane since he has the 220, which he hasn't used, I think. No, it hasn't been used. But either way, I mean, he has probably noticed that there's no EAs so far from Hypokrass, so why not bring a plane? M7's coming in for the center, 2 of them. I think 1 would have done the trick as well, but 2 is definitely gonna be able to do a lot of damage over here. There's no AT whatsoever in the center. Of course, the IG-33 can use the heat shells, but you need to get close enough for that, and those will wipe the IG-33 because it will wipe before it will wipe the M7s. So there's that. We do see the Panzer gun over here, but this is of course the one with the Panzer 39, which is horrible. There's absolutely useless, this thing. It's not going to do anything. So the Sherman here actually relatively uncontested. Now, Panzerschreck, of course, is on the move there. Oh, no. Pack 38 and P40. Snipe. Oh, no. Both transports over there. I think Hypokrass has not noticed yet that these are up here. Actually, yeah, he's learned the lesson now. He's actually pushing over here. But it looks like this, I think, was the deciding point for this flank, at least. Where I think Hypokrass will take that. I will lose that. I don't see him holding this really with what he has here. Attack was just absolutely overwhelming me here, and there's no real way of him holding this in the long run, in my opinion. The Sherman could still do a lot of damage, but of course it's going to go down to Panzerschreck once that arrives. And Hypokrass doesn't really make any moves of saving this. And this is, you know, if you see the front line going like this, and the first thing on the front line is your tank, you might want to reconsider your choices there. But, you know, push here with the assault team has actually been successful. Now, Decima came in, but not so sure if the assault teams won't just win against that. They re-grab the flag, they bring it back to 1311 for attack power. Or not back, bring it to 1311 for the attack power. Ooh, Sherman pushing a little bit too fast. No, but actually, 33 is not going to follow up with the heat shell in time, I don't think. Because, yep, huge push there for Hypokrass, because this could have gone so wrong. This thing could have absolutely deleted that Sherman. That would be the end of that. 50 cal in here for support. Now, Tiger coming in the center, though. Hypokrass doesn't have anything here to deal with that at the moment. He needs his M10s, which have not yet arrived. Or an M5 gun. Same thing for that. And there we go. Tank is going to get killed by the Panzerschreck. And yeah, Hypokrass is going to get pushed back into this flag. And this is going to be huge because now attack power can actually move in with the Decima, which is not brought. So Hypokrass might actually have a chance to retake this then. Interesting. Not what I would have expected. We do see AA in the north though. So him having quite a force here. And decide this is the main area to push. Of course, he doesn't really want the bomber to come in and just wipe him there. Oh, we do see him the M16 tractor against infantry. The party bus has arrived. The party bus is here and will do the work. No. Party bus is running. That's sad. Decima, of course, have one MG42, but it's not really all that much for range. The assault team should win that fight. Sherman, Tiger is actually trying to fight off the assault fire support here. Sherman, of course, a little bit close. The chance of penning the Tiger over there, slim to non-existent actually. M5 gun coming in though. So Hypokrass reacting. Attack power on the 1311 over there. I gotta say, I'm not sure, and when I was playing attack power, I was also not sure if meeting attack power on balance is the way to go, since, you know, balance grinds are kind of specialty. But then again, he's also very practiced when it comes to tournaments, at least, to play against Vanguard and Maverick. So I'm not so sure if those are actually better incomes against him. I really don't know what's actually the best way of dealing with attack power. Oh, this would actually be a great angle for a flanking over here, but the M7s are a little bit too far away. So that they can't really do much with the heat shell, because otherwise, you know, with those getting side angles and the Sherman being there, or the Sherman moving in for a side shot, it would actually be a great opportunity there. Oh, there we go. Tiger takes out one of the M7s. The other M7 is falling back. Assault fire support rushing in. Yeah, it's probably not going to go that well, but I love to see that. Sherman actually going for the flanking position with get a shot on the back. This thing has not been penned yet though. It's not even been damaged yet by anything. Schumpanzer getting in there as well. This thing doesn't have heat, so the Sherman should be relatively safe. Pack 40 also coming in. Let's see what the Sherman's going to go after. Gets a sight shot on the Panzer 4. That would be huge. Which it does. And now the Sturmpanzer 4 needs to turn. Hypokrass... Oh, this thing doesn't have AT. Oh, it has an AT grenade, so that's actually dangerous. Sherman is falling back as the Sturmpanzer 4, of course, is something he can't pen. The Fusilier is gonna... Oh, no, he's gonna drive into that. He's driving the other way now. Oh, the Sturmpanzer 4 wipes it out. I think it was penned before, so that's why. 12-12, and still in favor of Hypokrass, actually, with him having a size... Yeah, good amount of tickets ahead of attack power, but the Decima have now arrived. It looks like the rifles earlier have basically died again. More engineers would be needed to deal with that. I'm actually not actually sure. I would actually be curious to see that. How well the engineers will do against the Decima. Because generally speaking, we say that grenade throwers counter SMG units very nicely, but this thing is commando, and I'm not sure if the engineers... Well, they do have him 1 Garant, so that's going to add up, right? And 2 Thompsons, so that's still going to be a bit of suppression. So maybe they can actually do it. Oh, there we go, M5 gun, but he's used both APCR shells, has not killed the Tiger, but it looks like the Tiger's turret is... Yep, it's facing the wrong way. I don't know what it was going after there, but... Oh, there we go, it gets a kill. But yeah, so turret stuck is one of the more annoying things that can happen to you. Of course, especially considering, oh, one of the bazookas trying to seep through, but the MG34, unfortunately, for Hypokrass in the wrong position here. M16 tractor grabbing a flag here. It's going to get wiped by the Panzer IIF here, though. Surprised it doesn't actually shoot. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. This thing is... It can't shoot. What is it doing? Is it on the size of... Down it goes to... Oh, the M5 gun. That makes a lot more sense now. Bazooka actually going in CQC. Killing the Pack 40. What are we witnessing here? It's... It got the kill. Is it going to kill the MG34 too? It's certainly going for it. MG34 on the run now. Decima coming in. Decima coming in to deal with the bazooka units up close. That is nuts. You could actually send that over here and kill the Sturmpanzer. Oh, which he does. Love it. Wow. What is that engagement? Oh, Panzergrenadier has snuck over the open and actually grabbed the flag there. Decima in here. But yeah, as I was going to say, I think the engineer can actually... Yeah, they do enough suppression that they should definitely pin the Decima in time, even if the grenade doesn't pin it fully, which I think it will, but I'm not 100% sure. M5 gun, what does it spot? Oh, the Sturmpanzer. There we go. Gets a kill. Bazooka doesn't actually need to do anything over there. But, you know, Decima is going to arrive regardless. Bazooka could actually try to sneak through here and go for this, like in this area now. It'll also do a lot of damage. Ooh, rifles early spotted there. Hypokrass back on a 3011 as he regrabs this flag with assault fire support. The Tiger dying here has really opened up this for another push. It's trying to sneak out a bazooka unit through, which is not really the way to go. Yeah, you can definitely do that, but you want to do that when you control the area, which is not the case here. So it's just going to waste a ton of points of trying to sneak bazookas in the back lines. So ideally, where you want to do that is over here. Didn't really give you those kind of tips, but, you know, for those of you who don't know, this is the prime area to do that because it's relatively easy to hide them. And no one's really going to be all the way here, right? People are fighting along here sometimes. And this first line is not as busy as this one anyway. But if people are here, it's usually not back here. So you can sneak through here. This is the one risky spot. Then you are in here, down, you can sneak in here and snipe things. Or if you really want to go all the way, you can move back here. But then you need to cross here, which is, again, a bit risky. But, you know. On the other side, doesn't really work too well. You can still try to get in there. Or just do it over here. You know, same kind of concepts. If you grab this... So if you grab this on blue side, just sneak it through here and then here. Or through here. Like it happens. Or if you grab this, you can just walk all the way through here. But this... Not the way to go. Oh, one of them got in actually. Failed to kill a Tiger though. So you have to remember, this is very important. Tiger's on the run though. No. Bazooka's falling back though. So this is something that you have to remember. What's the 17 actually going after? Oh, the one both is over here. Looks like the party bus got killed again. How sad. Bazooka's coming against the P40. But yeah, so bazookas do 10 damage. They don't kill a heavy tank. They kill mediums, but they don't kill heavies. That is the one downside of the bazookas. Besides then the slightly lower pen than the Panzerschreck. Ooh, M5 gun is added again. APCR now turned on. As we also mentioned, by the way, turret stuck on a tank that is not looking like facing forward. is of course basically useless, or the third stock makes the tank basically useless, because it will always align itself towards the target, so now the turret is not faced towards the target and the tank can't shoot. But it died anyway after that. At this range, M5 gun penning the Tiger is unlikely. It might happen eventually, but it's not super likely. 13-11 for Hypokrass again, but attack power is making progress with it. Decima definitely overwhelming him. Both is going to get killed here, probably. I mean, I don't really know what he wants to do here. Bazookas actually get caught out as well. Not a both is coming in. More rifles coming in. I'm not really sure why he doesn't have a Sherman here. So whenever you get pushed out of this, you want to put something here that can help. M10s can definitely do the trick there as well. That's for sure. P40s here are still sitting there without a purpose. They killed the M10, and after that they weren't used again. 220s also... No, actually it has shot 5 shells. But ever since, it has not been used again. Tiger E has finally killed off the M5 gun. It is damaged. It got 2 APCR hits, and it has a side damage. Actually, I don't know if... No, it is definitely damaged there. Party bus here finally died. Not bazooka coming in. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't cleared this out, this is definitely not the way to go. I get he wants to kill this Tiger, but like there's things in here you just can't just zip through. They can easily kill it. And there we go. Like, if anything, you want to take this route. But even that is very unlikely. I gotta be very critical here. I don't really see the point on that, really. Also, I think Hypokrass just wasting a lot of bazookas here quite needlessly, really. This one is also, like, those were... 2 of them, 1 of them would probably have been enough. Oh, Mada gets a kill on the M10. That's huge. That's a very good kill. Especially considering the price, like 45 points. And this is 70 points. Oh, leader here might actually kill the Panzergren. He's trying to snipe the Decima. It's actually not so good that this thing goes in, because that's going to shred that leader. There's a sniper, but the sniper is not that good. Rifles late have arrived, but again, they're no match against the Decima. Oh, and another both is here, almost dead. That's really bad. The party was also has died. P40 here in a nice flanking position, where if you try to go that round, you're going to get killed. Could also move forward. Of course, there's no recon for him. That Decima might be able to do. Sherman coming in now. 16-8 for Hypokrass. Wow, look at that go. This bazooka is still there, though. At the moment, he can't really do much. He can provide vision. But of course, you don't really want to use that for anything at the moment. But, you know, if situation here ever is going to be a little bit calmer, you could definitely move that through. There's no bazookas over here. There's a Panzer 2F can just move in and be annoying. Decima's going to get in. Whatever it's going to spot, Panzer 2F can then just shred. You see another M5 gun come in. Needs to be careful because the Tiger can snipe that as it drives in. And the Fusilier will spot it, so... Tiger's on the move, though. Might take a while till he can react. That might give Hypokrass the time he needs to deal with that. Now, of course, he needs to be very careful. These are very precious since there's a lot of Tiger in the attack power stack and not that many M5 guns and M10s in Hypokrass deck. Ooh, Tiger misses. That might be the end of it. It's the M5 gun. Aims. And misses. Okay. We are going to have another go. It's not showing sidearm anymore. There we go. Gets the kill. Bazooka coming in to deal with the Panzer 2F. As well as rifles late. Definitely going to be needed. Oh, IG-33 spotted the M5 gun. That might be the end of that. 6 health. That immediately taken away. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. But Decima's Piltori got in here. Might have killed whatever was there. I'm not really sure if that is the only thing that has held this. Maybe it was. But either way, it doesn't affect the front lines as a recon unit. But Panzergren is coming in to try and re-grab the flag. Not a Tiger now coming in. There's an M5 gun in position. It has not yet used the APCR shells. So that could potentially get killed over there. Supplies would be needed though. They were called in here originally to deal with the M10. Could definitely shift over here and keep unloading, keep reloading the M5 gun. You can like hide it somewhere over here where you know, it can't be spotted. Decima tries to open up another bubble of frontline. We have to remember that Decima's commander unit gets some of the same bonuses as raid trade, so it also has this weird effect on the frontline there. Rifles early versus Panzerschreck. Oh, it's a Pioneer leader though. So this has a TNT. Not good for the rifles late. Attack power doesn't want to lose it though, it's falling back. Assault fire support versus the Marder can't really do much. Well, if it gets close enough, it can do the, you know, throwing little bombs into it because it's an open top vehicle. Rifles late versus Penny. There we go. Throw the TNT. Another rifles late engaging, but I think he's going to get the surrender through. Not yet. How does it not surrender it? Oh, the leader is close enough. It's a double that one, so it has quite a large circle of influence. So the next pioneer leader goes down. Still quite a bit of unnecessary damage taken. Other rifles early just pushing through. Dechima Exploratorian, so that's ATKPWR is going to hurt. Both of you could actually very kill before the Dechima. Oh, M5 kind of got caught out here. Yeah, I don't want to have these so close. They're really crucial here. I don't really want to lose them unnecessarily. Tiger got a driver knocked out. That doesn't really matter that much. Doesn't look like ATKPWR has any intent of falling back anyway, as the M5 gun will really struggle penning it, which it does, and the Tiger's just going to wipe that. It did, though, it didn't even take damage. Damn, the ABSR didn't actually pen it. Wow. Supplies have arrived, just a little too late. M10 coming in, though, so that's another story. Problem is, the Pak 38, no, actually it's going to be outranged, so that works, by the looks of it. Sherman here has now arrived, shredding some Dechima RDT over there. As rifles early just move in to try and grab the flag. The problem is those are not commanders. If they're going to get cut off, he's going to lose that. RDT pushing in here to grab this flag. There we go. But Tapao making progress, but he's still down quite a lot of tickets. So he has to turn this around fast. Hypokrass, if he pushes forward just a bit over here, has an angle at another flag. And again, the only thing that can stop the Sherman just pushing through here is the ATKPWR, which is pushing forward though. So, you know, there's definitely options there for this to happen. 220 is now going after the M5 and M1 gun over there. Look at that big circle. You probably want to have some radio there. Oh, the ATKPWR has spotted the Sherman. Sherman has not yet spotted the ATKPWR. Is it going to be able to aim in time? No, it is not. Remember though, you need something to spot for it. Stonewalls probably can do it, but I guess there's just nothing here close enough. ATKPWR, if that's going to get a side shot, it can also pen the Sherman over there. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit close, considering it has no fire support, like infantry support. Or ATKPWR is going to snipe the rifles early instead. No, it's going to go after the M1 gun, actually. ATKPWR though might wipe these things. But rifles already got in. Flag is grabbed. 13-11 for Hypokrass once again. And now we actually see the first long tom by Hypokrass. It has taken quite a while for that to happen. Dechima is still here. Oh, he finally brought in engineers to deal with those. Sherman actually dangerously close here, but it looks like there's no bazookas left by ATKPWR. At least he didn't bring them yet, like the Panzerschrecks. So Sherman is actually just close range, doing fire support without any infantry. Oh, this building just in time saving the Sherman there from the Pak 38, which would have gotten a side shot otherwise. 50 cal getting up here. This definitely works, but I think up here would be easier. This is actually safe. This one is a little bit close to the front line. Oh, rifles early get a kill there on the Dechima RDT. Probably will still kill it. Right, there we go. Not a Tiger coming in here over here though. Sherman can't really do much against that. More reinforcements coming here, but again, Hypokrass doesn't actually have any recon here to spot for him and tell him what's there. So I think it's more of a desperation move. Yeah, he knows that it's a Tiger. Long Tom is currently dealing with that. But other than that, he really doesn't see that much. ATKPWR on the other side, actually not really spotting all that much either. But this is a very blind attack, which is usually not that smart of a move. DO-217 bombed the rifles early here. It's going to flip that flag again. No, it doesn't. DO-217 is going to get out since there's like the one Bofors over here. That's not really doing all that much. Not a Tiger coming in, not a Panzerschreck, so they do exist. Yeah, he can just move that forward and kill the Sherman, I guess. Well, ATKPWR did get killed off by the M7 over here. DO-17 might get stopped by the Bofors. No, Bofors needs time to reload. Yeah, Bofors. When it comes to high-flying bombers, Bofors are such a disappointment. Like, they do not stop them. Period. Look at how close it got. Like, that's insane. Like, against these kind of bombers, Bofors are just plain useless. It's really sad. But I have turned into Bofors hate really. I find them so underwhelming. Well, okay, it's unvetted. So if it was vetted, it might have stopped it, actually. So that's probably part of it. So maybe I have to retract that statement. Still, Bofors, I actually don't like them. I prefer the Flak 30. I prefer the Flak 43. I think it's better. 105 and M10. Now both going after the Tiger. The 105 is, I was going to say, it is in range for the heat shell. It should be able to kill it. It's under 30 minutes of penetration. That's enough. The Howard's now going after the 15W. It's going to shred a lot of things here, so this is why this position is so crucial. You need to have something over there. 220 is going after the Long Tom. Long Tom is going after the 220. I think that's going to be... No. It's not. Sorry. It's a mistake. I didn't unselect the 220 by the looks of it. Long Tom is currently idle. Whee! Oh, I forgot. It's a Mercer, so... Mortar. Going whee! So the question is now, actually, is this one of those... I know that, since it's technically a mortar, maybe... Is it also classified as one, or is it just by name? No, it's classified as heavy howitzer, so I would assume the Long Tom is probably able to do counter battery now. It's going after the Tiger, so I guess that's Hypokras's answer now to ATKPWR's tanks is Long Toms. And that's not good. Now, the other option, of course, would be the 820, and ATKPWR doesn't actually have any AA out whatsoever. Oh, wow, there we go. Mercer 220 got the Long Tom. Second, that's incredibly lucky considering how far that is away and how bad the accuracy of this is. But I guess that's a good kill there. There we go. But yeah, 820 is another option, but the problem is they're so easy to dodge. Like, you see them coming in, you know where the bombs are going to land, you just drive away. The HMS Military here to do the damage, but the engineers can actually take care of that. Or they actually kill it before it throws in. That's huge. Now, if they can deal with that as well, that would be great. Taking out the leader alternative would also be good, of course. There we go. 820 goes in and ATKPWR just dodge it with the Tiger. Nice move there. Do they throw the TNTs? They do not. I mean, this thing doesn't actually... Yeah, it has 2 car... Oh, there we go. Focke-Wulf gets on the back of it. Both is in a really bad position. Yeah, you need to have them too close to the woods and to the hill here. But they do at least take it out now. So, revenge is served, but that doesn't help it much. Looks like the... Yeah. Looks like the engineers got killed off. More coming in, though. More DT and DT exploratory coming in. So yeah, I mean, ATKPWR has more depth in his CQC at the end of the day. Hypokrás actually has quite a lot too. We have to say that, but I don't think he can. Yeah, I don't think he can keep up with ATKPWR in the long run. Still 12-12 and still in favor of Hypokrás. ATKPWR really needs to step up his game now. That being said, it looks like ATKPWR is still better off in trades. I just think he's either Hypokrás putting a great job, is doing a great job at defending and pressuring, or ATKPWR is really just too afraid of pushing anywhere. Really, I don't really know which of the two, but I think it's slow. Yeah, there we go. Another both is down. There's a lot of support things here, and the Tigers that Hypokrás just can't deal with. They start piling up, you know. So that is going to become increasingly difficult. And now we have Lorraine coming in as well, which is going to hurt quite a bit. And it's radio range too, so this thing will absolutely shred that both us. And ATKPWR still has its DO-217, maybe even 2. I think we've only seen 1 at a time, so I think it's just 1, but who knows? And, you know, there's more if he wants them. So air spam is definitely potential if that can open up the map again. But I don't think it's needed. 1410 for ATKPWR now as he grabs this flag. And he's just grabbed another one too. Oh, he has re-grabbed this one finally. He's got back in here, and DT are just pushing through. Soul Team still alive. Engineers at a range where they don't really want to fight against the Panzergrenz. Or the DT for that matter. And reinforcements are coming in the form of the off map. Which can, you know, it's not terrible, but you want to have something to follow up. Wait, okay, he brings in engineers. So the follow-up is there. That means Hypokrás was... Sorry everyone for the interruption. Unfortunately, I was running out of storage space, so the recording was interrupted. I first had to make some room, and now we continue. As I was going to say, that tells us that Hypokrás was actually floating quite some points. So it's not just ATKPWR doing that. I don't actually know if he's done it in this game, but knowing ATKPWR, I think he probably did. But either way, things are not looking very good for Hypokrás now. Of course, the off map, you know, can turn things around here to some degree, because there's quite the investment here for attack power, but ultimately, it's still not that massive of an investment. And like, something like a Sherman here would stop that super well. Of course, he's not going to get back into the woods, but, you know, I think there's bigger areas to target with this, where the impact would be more massive, like in here, where there's really no angle of getting back, into this without the off-map, most likely. Well, the arm at the moment can probably do it, but these can deny that to some extent. So that's definitely an issue there. Now, by the way, P40 is still just chilling there. Interesting. Lorraine is now going after this blob over here. Off-map is dropping, but yeah, attack power is spread out, so it's not going to do much. And that's 170 points just down the drain. And, you know, Hypokrass can't know there's not much here anymore. He probably expected more, but this is why I'm not a huge fan of these kind of off-maps, really. Oh, Stück there got killed by the M10, but 2DO217 now coming in. And the only thing that's left here as AA is the M16. Now, the party bus, great against infantry, which is why it's called the party bus, because when it arrives, there's a huge party. But again, as AA, especially against high-flying bombers, not that good. But just as attack power dodged with his M10, Hypokrass does the same. With his Tiger, Hypokrass does the same with the M10. It's really not... Like, using heavy bombers, like high-flying heavy bombers, is not good against tanks. Believe me, I've been there. I've made these experiences myself. It's not that I'm trying to tell you that it's stupid and I would never do that. I'm just telling you, don't do it. Rifles already coming in here to try and get in here again. There's an IG-18 which can prevent that, but its line of sight, if that is to believe the tool, is not great. So you might actually get in. These are more something to worry about, but even that might be passed if it is fast enough. So, you know, there's a potential. I think Hypokrass should actually rather invest in some artillery and just make sure that he can keep crucial flags, right? This is what artillery is great for. At this point in the game, you don't necessarily need it to do counter battle or anything. Just buy one and make sure that you can grind down your point where it really counts. Like, this is an area where it counts, this is an area where it could count. Over here it could count as well. You know, there's definitely areas where that can make the difference. Just like attack power is going after crucial things right now that are actually holding flags. So this is how you're supposed to do it. Engineer's rifle and all this kind of got forced back or killed by the off-map Alex. The only thing I didn't get killed was all of attack power's units over here. That's really bad for Hypokrass. Not really sure if it's his mistake, it's his fault at all, but it is still a very unfortunate thing. Rifles are already unloaded in actually just a perfect spot to evade the IG-18 and Panzergun 41. He can actually try to move them right here and turn off autogo, because if he doesn't, they're actually going to move into the building. They're far enough away from it, though, to not do that at the moment. Unless it's already turned it off, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so. Not a Sherman in here. There's no bazookas left here, or at least none to be seen. So Sherman here all of a sudden can be a bit like a cleanup crew. Leader coming in, but more infantry is generally needed for that. A lot of it is coming in up north though, so Hypokrass really determined to regrab that flag. But not a Lorraine coming in, trying to soften up the area. I think it's really just taking the wind out of Hypokrass' sail as he started to get moving over there. The DO217 getting in here again. Now the Sherman is not in a position where he can easily dodge. It's not on a road and not in the open, but in the forest that is slow. But the bombing run still misses. There we go. Hypokrass not having any fight is really punishing him here, because he could definitely go after the DO217. But he doesn't have any fighter to go after it, and he can't actually from the fact that there's no AA on attack power side. At this point, how fast is this? I'd actually be able to use the DO217 if this, you know, stays around and just shoot it down. But it has quite a few 50 cals, so it will do the work eventually. Hypokrass about to grab another flag there, as the Aditya being forced off. And again, the engineers should probably, we still have to find that out. We've not actually seen it. I'm pretty sure they do. Tiger, though, is a problem here because it can definitely deny some areas over here. Stück and Aditya now coming, actually. The Stück up close, definitely, potentially problematic. There's no leader over there with bazooka. There's no bazookas left, since I think Hypokrass just used them all trying to sneak through, which worked for like 1. Maybe 2. Did it actually kill? That's another question. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I killed the Tiger. So that's why the Dechima is here, I guess. So It was falling back here. I was actually wondering, sorry if we missed that. It was falling back here, and I went somewhere else trying to go back. It's just like when I'm playing a game. This is why I'm so bad. I always go back and forth and was like, oh, I still have time to do something else. And then I missed a crucial moment. Sorry, I was thinking of it as I was running back, and the Tiger Bishop was like, maybe that is going to stop running back by the time the Tiger is in line of sight. And by the looks of it, it was. It's just that I unfortunately wasn't there. So there's that. But no, never mind, there's one more Panzer wreck. It's got to be the last one, though. Shooter killed on the Tiger, that's big. Pack 38, though. Tried to open up as well. It's going to kill the M10. Take revenge. If Hypokrass doesn't notice in time. One Panzergren versus a bunch of engineers. You get to see just how much damage and suppression the M1 Garand does. If you bunch all of them up in this range, but still it's not enough. And now the Regiment RD is going to get involved as well. Sherman as well, which is going to get killed off here. Also leadership, of course, is making the difference here. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, Hypokrass. You don't want to do that without infantry support. No, and down he goes. More rifles are coming. Yeah, these would have been very helpful over here. There we go. Long Tom is in going for counter battery, which again, and 715 I think is not really worth it. And more importantly, at this point in the game, you really need to go after crucial points on the map that are preventing you from getting flags, or would give you flag, or could lose you flags. Let's put it at that. But Hypokrass actually got this flag back, 13-11 still. So looking very good for him. M10 now. Going after Tiger over here. Got the turret stuck, which in this case apparently it doesn't matter all that much. And now the M10 is falling back as it is running out of APCR. Support is here to resupply though. But, you know, Tiger can't see it. We do resupply. And then he can re-engage. Fortunate for Hypokrass still. And ATKPWR has a massive force over here. It just needs to use it to collapse his entire flank. It's definitely possible. I think ATKPWR is outnumbering Hypokrass here heavily. He just... either, I don't know, maybe he thinks he can't push past. I mean, he definitely didn't have a lot of infantry for quite some time. He didn't have the armor, which is now there. So maybe he was actually really not able to. But I think ATKPWR was also a little bit passive sometimes. See, there's another Lorraine, which I don't think is actually needed. He could just overwhelm Hypokrass at this point. But I don't think he knows. He's going for a bombing strike though, so that's not a bad idea regardless, because he can soften it up and then go in. Another bombing strike over here, which could at least pin all of those and then bring another flag to ATKPWR. Has already brought it back to 12-12. So Stuk's pushing here, and again, no bazookas. Oh no, there's one more bazooka. I mean, take them in B phase certainly has made it so that there's what feels like an endless amount of it. Bombing strike kills one, pins the other, so that opens, pushes up, the arrows up or pushes to over there. Stuk moving in here. M10 goes down. Leader will go down. Rifle is on the run. So this flag fell 13-11 for ATKPWR, who needs a 15-9 though very quickly. This flag though could follow very soon. ATKPWR really needs to start pushing now. The 217 going after 50 cal, which is currently preventing him from pushing out here in the open. Rifles early could definitely do it as well. Oh, M10 goes down. Another M10 is going after the Tiger and Pack 40 combo over there. It's not shooting though. Is it suffering from hill depression or what is happening? No, he first needs to align. That's what's happening. There we go. Tiger is not spotted yet. No recon here for ATKPWR. He has a Panzer in the church house. So at least some spotting. There we go. Tiger goes down. Lorraines are not firing. ATKPWR, I think, is just throwing the game with not using his artillery properly. He has the artillery advantage at the end of the day. He just needs to use it. And again, Hypokrass manages to push in with the leader. If he can take out that Stuk, at this range he could miss with the suppression, but it doesn't. Black barely hand 13-11 for Hypokrass. ATKPWR definitely needs a 16-8 now. The 15-9 now. Or an 18-6, potentially. I think at this point he needs the 18-6. Which I just can't see happening at the moment. I mean, there's not that many frontline units left for Hypokrass. Like, there's a lot of flags here. If at any point ATKPWR is going to get in here, which he attempts to now, like, he's going to get 4 flags here. This falls, these fall, that's 4 flags for ATKPWR right away. This one is really grabbable as well, and these 2 are very grabbable too. So the Lorraines really need to be put to work now. There we go, going after rifles early over there. Mortar needs to be put to work. He's really focusing on that now. That's great. Then he can focus on that, and he might actually be able to do. But 13 for him again. But Hypokrass is holding on very well. Hypokrass just has the units where it matters, or at least, yeah, no. Whether on purpose or not, they're there where Attack Power wants to push, and they're doing the job that they need to. Bazooka taking out another Stug over here. Attack Power definitely getting desperate putting those Stugs so close to the forest there. And another flag's flipped as the Rifles already killed off the Panzergren up close. I mean, up close, the Rifles already have a lot more firepower than the Panzergren. Not sure if Attack Power is manually targeted. Yeah, but it looks like he's definitely manually targeted the area. This is where, you know, you can put defensive fire in this area and it will actually find it accurately, I think. Unit. But the push down south is finally on its way, and it looks like Attack Power is going to get that. The question is he also going to push over here? Well enough. The O217 is going to go, oh, this is going to hurt. It's going to definitely kill the 105. Could potentially kill the M10. Reinforcements here from Hypokrass now getting smacked around in the open by Pack 38. Push over here happening. 12-12 for Attack Power again. Big push coming, but I think he's focusing too much on this one. But he might actually get this flag. Panzergren alone pushing it, probably not going to do. Oh, there's a lot of Detrimariti coming in, so they are going to whelm this. I think these two flags are going to flip. And now it's not the time anymore with the long toms, because now Hypokrass' job is not actually softening areas up for pushes again. Now his only job is to just hold flag with bodies, which at the moment he's not really doing very well. That might not go very well. Oh, but Attack Power is going to get this flag. He's going to get these two flags. He might get these as well. He's got that one already. 13-11, he got that one. He's lost the one in the town, though. This one as well, so it's not looking very good. He definitely needs to use the mortar as well. Long Tom actually killed the Lorenas. Attack Power didn't move it. But Hypokrass is really, at the moment, failing to hold the line by looks of it. He's going to get overwhelmed here very easily. Another flag lost. Sherman pushing in. Tiger and Tiger are going to stop that. Probably. And that's going to be the end of that. The O217 coming in here for the sun. There's too many things here to kill, really, at the end of the day. And Attack Power's force here is pushing. I don't see anything that can stop that at this point. 820 got in, killed, whatever was there. Oh, no. I thought there was also support weapon. Maybe killed it, actually. Schumpanzer, though, still alive. Schmadidi got pushed back for the time being. That's all that Hypokrass needs to do. 2 minutes left. I don't really see how Attack Power wants to win that. I think the Hypokrass must have... Hypokrass has this pretty safe in his pocket. There we go. Another flag on Attack Power, though. But even... No, this is... No. Not going to make it anymore. 18-6. Yeah, that's not enough time. He needs more than that. He needs a total defeat at this point, which... There's even a timer on that, I think. Not really sure how that's supposed to happen, then. Got another one here, very clearly, though. He can actually grab this, too. I think Attack Power just waited too long for his big push. He was playing very carefully, very slowly. Just a little bit too slow at the end of the day. Well, this flag is actually what's preventing him from getting the 18-6 now. Well, there we go. 8 when she goes down to Nessigo sets and one that was called in at this point. Wow. And this blob here just can't really push forward anymore. 18-6 again, but just a little too late. Yeah, no. No. Not gonna happen anymore, I don't think. There's another push here coming, but it... Timer's up in... a little bit... less than a half a minute. Panzergren gets another flag here. 18-6 once again, but that would have needed to happen, yeah, about 3 minutes ago, probably. And stayed. Get 217. It's not going to do much if it's bombing this. Now it's actually... Might actually flip the flags back. 19-5. Now, is 24 actually going to give more? Because that could make a difference at this point. But not anymore. And there we go. 15-minute mark. Attack Power is pushing relentlessly, but it is not enough. And there we go. Hypokrass takes the win. And yeah, I would really have loved to get a cast of an Attack Power win, but fortunately, there's not that many in this season of FOB Arena. But, you know, there's still some more games that we have a chance at. I might actually cast Attack Power versus me. There's two relatively short games that, you know, I originally hoped I could cast with him together, but since he's now stopped, I think I might just do that on my own. And bring those two down. Those are actually cool games, so I think you would enjoy them. But anyway, I mean, look at that. Attack power massively outrated Hypokrass, and it's not that he couldn't have pushed. I really think he just kind of threw it away by not being aggressive enough in the end, or when it was time to. So that's really a shame. Now, other than that, in terms of chronology, we can definitely see Hypokrass got a good opener, but not as good as we would have feared for attack power. And of course, this is a massive kill right early on. And then attack power, you look at that. Attack power is actually outrating Hypokrass right from the start. There's definitely errors, like times of recovery for Hypokrass, but there's definitely a lot more blue than red. And I mean, the overall stats also showed us. Now, we have to consider one thing, though. This is not as massive as it looks like when you have, like Merrick versus Merrick, for example, or Balance versus Merrick, because, of course, both players have still a lot of units on the field, a lot of income by the time the game ends, but still, being 2,000 points up in trades is... Okay, 1,500 is still massive, even for Balanced. So in terms of kills, M1 gun did well. Stonewallers actually, surprisingly, Soul Team really shred. I don't know where that one was, but look at that go. Absolutely fantastic. That's probably the one up north, actually. M5 gun actually got some very good kills as well. I wanted to show them the party bus. They go ham. I love that. And oh, look at that M10. Got actually quite some good snipes there. So that's pretty cool. But he often actually killed. Okay, he actually killed things. We just didn't see it because I wasn't there to watch. So there's that. On the other side, the P40s perform very well. These are super cost efficient too. Like, they can be so annoying to deal with. Not because they're particularly strong, but just because of, like, if you lose a unit to this, you've lost it to a cheap unit. Performs actually fairly decent for the price they have. It costs a H18, probably one in the open that killed a lot of units trying to push through. Did very well too. Marder, pack 30, I don't know which one that was. Not a Tiger, also don't know which one that was. Some more Marders. Marders are very good, of course. The 220, look at that thing go. They did quite a killing. Wow. It was not used enough early on, but once it was put to use, it certainly performed. There can't be no doubt about that. Tiger here, another Tiger shredding some M7s at range. And then, of course, all the Decimar. Wow, look at that. The later it got, the better the units perform by the looks of it. The 217 also got some good bombing runs in. Another Decimar TT doing wow. Fantastic. But yeah, what a game. What a game. It was definitely great to see attack power from, the neutral perspective doing his good old grinds. And nothing against Hypokrass, I really like it, but attack power being who he is, I was kind of rooting for him a little bit. I was really hoping for him to turn it around, especially, since Hypokrass was dominating from the start. But, of course, still, congrats to Hypokrass for the strong performance. I mean, he is a good player, so there's no doubt about that. And he definitely showed us why. Because he could held up still, despite attack power trading him. So that's really good. And so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day and see you all in the next one.